certified quantum touch practitioner. This is Gene Skaggs. He is a level 1 and level 2 teacher as well as practitioner for quantum touch. And so today we're going to be talking about addiction and how we can use quantum touch for addictions. I'm also going to be speaking about anxiety in relation to addiction. So, Gene, you want to start us off?
Okay. And I want to say probably what I'm saying and probably what Andrea will be, her input also will probably be overlapping a little bit right in there. But first of all, let's jump into addictions and what's the definition of addictions. And we're going to stay away from Newtonian physics. We'll get into the quantum realm, quantum physics. So from a quantum perspective, everyone is an addict. And let me explain that, what I mean. In quantum, they say, anything we do repetitively in our life that doesn't bring us joy, we become addicted to it. The neurons in the brain, they fire and wire together, and then we keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over in our life. And it doesn't bring us joy, but we keep doing it because that's what our mind has actually been trained to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the three areas that addictions affect. One is the emotional aspect, and then our immune system, and then also how it affects, not only ourselves but our family and so forth in there. So the main area that in running energy into quantum touch, and Andrea does a beautiful job in some of the other videos explaining what running energy means, is this life force energy we pull in from the bottom of our feet to the top of our head and out our hands and our heart. And you have what's called, and your brain right here, it's called the reward circuit. And the headquarters of the reward circuit is the VTA. And VTA stands for ventral tegmental area part of the brain, which has to do with addictions. And what happens is here, it replaces the unhealthy addictions with healthy addictions. And so this is what we're going to be focused on. And also in that part of the brain, there's three stops in there. It's the amygdala, hippocampus, and hypothalamus that Richard Gordon refers to as they work beautifully together. And they do work beautifully together, and especially in this area right in here. The amygdala is where you store your trauma, your post-traumatic stress disorder, your fears, your worries, your addictions. You store them all right in there. You run energy in there. It shuts the lights out and opens you up and opens up other areas of the brain. As a beautiful example would be the pituitary gland, which produces the oxytocin, which is a love molecule, which allows you to love yourself. If you love yourself, you're not going to do things that hurt yourself. And when you love yourself, then you love others. And then when you love others, you're connected to a higher power. A lot of people go by the name of God, whatever you want to refer to, this higher power. We start getting connected to that. So it turns on that. It also turns on your pineal gland. The pineal gland also is one of the God glands, the pituitary gland. The pineal glands are the God glands. They connect you to your higher power. So it turns the lights on in that when you run energy into the brain. The pituitary gland regulates the melatonin and serotonin, besides a couple of hundred things it does. But for the purpose of this process, we'll focus on this. So it allows us to sleep better, because if you're addicted, I'm sure you're going to have trouble sleeping. And then your immune system is compromised. And also in part of the brain, you have what's called an IgA, which is immune globulin antibody, or immune globulin A. It goes by various names. But what this does is, it's called nature's flu shot. And what's going on in the world right now, this is a beautiful time to really run energy into the IgA. And it's mainly focused right here in your sinus, your lungs, your esophagus, and your stomach, the main places that you would have flu. So we're going to work on that right in there. You also have your tonsils, which is your first line of defense in your immune system. Because once again, if you're an addict, your immune system is compromised. So we'll run energy in there. And then also your thymus, which is the headquarters of the immune system. So this is going to take care of the immune part. And so what we do is, then the emotional aspect of it here, what we do is we would look at it as quantum touch would look at it as far as the addiction part is concerned. So let's just say hypothetically that Angela was an alcoholic. I would simply say, when you think of yourself being an alcoholic, where would you feel that in your body? And then I have her close her eyes, and you know, wherever she said, she could say my heart or right in here. And wherever she points to, that's where you run energy to. So that would take care, help greatly with the emotional aspects of it. And also when you're in an addict, you're in a fear mode and you're in your sympathetic nervous system. So that shuts down everything that repairs your body. And what this does, it puts you in your parasympathetic nervous system, which allows you to rest and repair, and again, start to love yourself. Then, of course, you want to hit that vagus nerve, which is right there in the back where the brain stem ends, and your occipital ridge right in that area. And again, it's called the vagus nerve, but it actually should be called the vagus nerves because there's two of them, one that follows each down each. And so this will go to the various parts of the brain, to the immune system, gather information, and report back to it. So this is where we would be concentrating on addictions there. So I'm going to let Andrea jump in here now.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about addiction often arises because we're uncomfortable. We are trying to soothe ourselves, we're trying to numb, release, whatever. And so when we find that we're unable to do that, we start to spin out in our mind. And when we spin out, we reach again for something to solve that problem. And so I teach meditation and mindfulness. And I've written a book about anxiety called Unwinding Anxiety. And that pattern, the pattern of anxiety, how it starts, how we feed it, the loop that we get ourselves into, the ways in which we become addicted to whether it's food. I've struggled with food, loving food, using it as a sort of a way to dampen, and gained a lot of weight because my addiction became food in order to try and deal with anxiety. Drugs and alcohol, very common, right? It's almost, at least in the United States, it's very culturally accepted way to dampen down what's causing us anxiousness, worry, concern. So I will have a separate video dealing with how we can navigate anxiety, at least in terms of dealing. There are a lot of other reasons for addictions, right? Addictions might come out of the cultural programming we have. It might come out of our family, patterns that we grew up with, as well as having a sort of addictive. People talk about having an addictive personality, and oftentimes we think it comes through our family line. Okay, so anyways, I will have a separate video for that, but really the thing to notice whether you're doing quantum touch or you're doing meditation is to allow yourself to soften, to get in touch with your body, to get in touch with your mind, and to have tools in your toolbox to do that, that support you. Because quantum touch is a wonderful modality for dealing with things like stress and worry that precede our addictions, or that give us relief from the addiction, while we can also have other tools that help us to understand where they come from and how to completely undo them, so that you kind of have both sides of the coin and they work wonderfully together.
And I'd like to say, I'm all for addressing all your issues in multiple ways. We're a multifaceted individual, so there's anything that we can do naturally, I'm all for it. And meditation is beautiful, and breathing. Just go on, YouTube, and you can punch in mindful breathing. When you sit there and you take 4 deep breaths and you exhale completely, you automatically activate all these pineal gland, pituitary gland, all these wonderful things, and it puts you in a nice, safe place where you love yourself. Again, and then, as I stated earlier, when you love yourself, you're not going to abuse yourself. So, and then the word A-W-E, you do that 4 times, you automatically activate that pineal gland, which is directly connected to God. So there's numerous ways, but you know, my main focus is Quantum Touch. And again, you'll find both of us. You go to quantumtouch.com and you punch our names in there. The information will be on the bottom of the of this video also. So anyways, if you all have any questions, you all can get in touch with us. And please subscribe to us in this videos. There's 15 other videos there. So you can see Andrea and I and other talking about other topics. So anyways, you got anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
That's, as they say in Nashville, Tennessee, that's a wrap. Okay.